A couple of guys now, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Glen Powell, have tried to make a run at Stephen King's story, The Running Man. Now, Arnie's attempt is a beloved cult classic B movie from the 1980s. Glen's run at it? Well, we'll get into whether his new 2025 version ran across the finish line victorious or if he slipped on a banana peel and ate pavement. On this episode of Movies Merica Live.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica Live. And, of course, I'm your humble host, Van Eberts, and this is going to be The Running Man, or is going to be The Running Man episode of Movies Merica. That's tougher to say than you think right there, okay? But, yeah, we're going to get into that here since that was what I thought it was like the big new release this weekend, like the only big new release this weekend. I was wrong, and I will explain why and how it was indicated to me that it was not the big new release, the only big new release this week here in the old box office here in the United States of America there, okay? So, but real quick here, while it's top of mind here, let me remind you that you don't have to just sit here and listen to me go, yep, about this movie here. Like, who wants that, right? That would be really boring, right? I mean, it's just like being in a class at school and, you just listen to the teacher talk up there and drone on and, those eyelids are getting a little heavier. And if only you could interact with that teacher, it would keep you awake, okay, right? If you give them a piece of your mind or you correct them or just talk or get involved, it will keep you awake. And so you can do that with this show as well. And you can do that via the live chat. Okay, that's one of the perks of this show being live is you can get in a live chat on YouTube or Rumble. Okay, and get in there and hey, if you want to just talk about The Running Man or any movie, or you're feeling particularly frisky and you just want to use the live chat to throw me off my game, hey, you know what? More power to you. You know what? Don't hate the play, I hate the game. Mad respect. I get that. If you want to try to throw me off my game and start throwing stuff in there to distract me, so believe me, I've done that too. All right, so I've been in that. I've done that, so I cannot preach or lecture you about that. But that's what the live chat's all for, right there. And then also it's for as I'm going through my takes on The Running Man, and you're just not picking up what I'm putting down, or you just do not park your car in the same garage as I do when it comes to what you think of this movie, then yeah, the live chat, let me have it. So yeah, on YouTube or Rumble, to get in a live chat, it's a highly, highly complicated process of finding the chat button or live chat button, whatever it's called, and clicking in there, and you can live chat with me there. And then also, hey, yes, send a link to the show to your friends and let them know about this show here. And again, this is spoiler free, so you and they don't have to worry about anything getting spoiled or anything like that. It's good to go. I give you my word. And, of course, right now you're probably like, I don't know what good your word is. To me there, I don't even know you, dude, okay? But we are going to get in here. So real quick, let's get into some Running Man, right? Because I don't think I've even said hardly anything about The Running Man. And that's what you guys are here to watch this show about, right? And so this is directed by Edgar Wright. And you may know that name from his previous endeavors, his previous movies like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, Baby Driver, Last Night in Soho. What's the other one? That would say Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So a lot of well-known movies, maybe not movies that necessarily just blew up the box office when they came out, but movie nerds, like this guy right here, we know who Edgar Wright is. And so when I heard about him directing the Running Man remake, I was like, ooh, yeah. Oh, man, I'm so glad Edgar Wright is getting his paws on the Running Man right there because, man, he could just kind of give it some biting wit and some quirkiness and maybe, a few great needle drops here and there for this movie right there. He's got that smarminess to his movies, right? And his movies are never boring, partly because of like the editing he does and he's just got a totally different way about his directing. So I was excited when Edgar Wright was announced as this here. And then I saw the trailers and I'm like, the trailers were kind of iffy there. But it's like, I'll give the movie a chance here. And then it stars, of course, a Glen Powell as the Ben Richards character instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then we don't have any like equivalent to the Maria Conchita Alonso character from the Schwarzenegger original there. But then we have instead of Richard Dawson, remember Richard Dawson? He played Killian, the game show host there in the 1988 one. Yeah, Killian in this new one here, Killian is the showrunner, the producer. He's not the host. But Killian is played by Josh Brolin, who could play a role like this in his sleep. Okay, he probably just phone in his effort because he basically does these roles easy. Knows them like the back of his hand here. And then we have Colman Domingo. Colman Domingo, you might know him off like Fear the Walking Dead and a number of other things that he's done. He plays Bobby T. Okay, and Bobby T is the host of The Running Man. Okay, and he's pretty good in his role there. So we have a number of recognizable faces in this movie. William H. Macy shows up from Fargo and Shameless, and then Michael Cera reunites with Edgar Wright because Michael Cera, of course, was the star. He was Scott Pilgrim, right? Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So he's in this movie as well. And so, yeah, the plot, in case you've never heard of The Running Man, the book or the movie, it's about Ben Richards, and it basically, the way it goes down and how he becomes a part of the Running Man, it differs between the Schwarzenegger movie and this Edgar Wright movie here. In this one, Ben Richards he's got a wife and kid and a little young daughter, and he's been blacklisted. He can't get any employment. He's been blacklisted from employment. And his daughter, he's got a bad fever. She's sick. Unfortunately, the poor thing is sick, and so he's trying to find money so he can pay for medication to keep his daughter alive. And he's just backed into a corner, right? He can't get any work, and so he goes and tries to sign up for some other game shows, not The Running Man, but tries to sign up for some other game shows that where they don't want to kill you, And so that's the whole point of The Running Man is basically you got 30 days to survive, and then you have this team of hunters, like these professional hunters that hunt you down, and then every day you stay alive, you make more and more money, for the family, right? And even if they give you the dirt nap, at least your family still gets paid. And then if you survive 30 days, then yeah, you're like a billionaire, right? And your life is super sweet. You're living in a lap of luxury, right? And so that's the game show. And then Ben Richards, gets, he agrees to become a contestant on The Running Man. And then that's the rest of the movie. I mean, the title literally tells you it's The Running Man. He's trying to survive The Running Man. You got sleazy, slimy characters trying to take him down, and these hunters trying to kill him, and all of that. Pretty simple plot to it, not to it, but not a whole lot to it. But if you pull it off just right, you can make a simple plot turn into an excellent movie here. And so, is this an excellent movie? Well, you'll get my answer as I go, further and further into this episode of Movies Merica Live right here. But so real quick here, let me do this here just to see here. I'm just going to get up in here, and I'm going to do a little housekeeping right here because I want to check something out here. Trying to keep my ducks in a row here. Okay, so if here's any quacking, that's what that is right there. But let's do this. Let's get up in here and just trying to send out an invite here for the live chat lounge. All right. And there we go. Got to attend this very important Movies America business, right? Business before pleasure and all of that stuff. That's how we roll up in here. Okay, gotcha. So let me do this. Okay. Man, I make this look easy the way I do this right here. Now, obviously you can't see what I'm doing on your end, so it's very boring here, but we're about to wrap this up here. And all right, there we go. Let's do this here. So actually, I do have something exciting to show you right here. And this is to show you that, and let's get rid of that. There we go. I don't know why that keeps popping up. All right. And let's do this. So as you see here, you have this bright, shiny, colorful wheel. Okay. And right now you're probably asking, hey, Van, what the hell does this have to do with movies here, man? Come on, explain it to me like I'm a child. Okay. And I shall do exactly that right now. So what this is all about is I'm trying to encourage people to get in a live chat. And also, if you want to throw a buck or two my way, this is part of kind of encouraging that as well. Because, I slave all day over a hot Movies Merica stove just for you to provide you an everyman spoiler-free review perspective on movies and, and bring you brew review and all these other things here. So, I'm trying to encourage maybe people just throw a buck or two my way. And so if you do this, that's where this wheel comes in. Is so if you get in a live chat on YouTube or Rumble and, you throw me a buck or two through there, then you get a spot on the wheel here. Now, the higher the amount that you throw my way, the bigger, the section of the wheel that you get. And then what we're going to do is we're going to spin this wheel towards the end of the month here. And if you got the biggest piece of the wheel, then the chances that it's going to land on you obviously increases, right? And you can win prizes here, like a $30 gift certificate to like Buffalo Wild Wings or Pizza Hut. You can get some Movies Merica merch, all that stuff right there. Okay, so yeah, and real quick, I should probably tell you like how you donate money through Rumble and YouTube, right? So if you're on Rumble and you're in the live chat, down by where you type in your live chat message, there's a button with a $sign on it. You just click that, it pops up another window. Ask how much money you want to donate. That's it. Very simple. That's the Rumble way, right? If you're on the Tube of Views, or commonly known as YouTube, it works very similar, the same way. So in the live chat window, down by where you tap in your live chat message there's a button, but this button is a dollar bill. Just click on that. It'll pop up another window asking you how much you want to donate, and that's it. Very simple, very easy, okay? So, and then also there's one other way to get a bigger part of this wheel, and that is to gift subs or gift a subscription to somebody else. Maybe you're in the live chat with somebody else there, and you're feeling very generous. Okay, you're like, you know what? Hey, Christmas is coming up. I want to be I'm all around good dude or dudette, right? And so what you could do is in the live chat window, there's a button with like a present box, like a little Christmas present box there. Just click on that, and that'll gift a sub to somebody. Now that subscription is worth $5. So basically, you'll get yourself a little $5 piece of this wheel right here. And so as you see on this wheel, we got Mr. Scott Awesome, who is a frequent visitor to the show. He's got the biggest piece of real estate up in here, and then followed by my man Lindy Rick 87 up in here. So, but that's enough of that right there. But yeah, hopefully you guys can get involved with that going on the show. All right, so let's move on with this with the festivities here, shall we? There we go. All right. And let's get into some more the Running Man. But real quick before I do that here, I got to stay hydrated, okay, because this is hard work, sitting on my ass, talking about a movie, okay? Very, very hard work. I mean, it's coal miners, they got nothing on me. This is hard work, so I got to stay hydrated. So to that end, here we go. All right. And I'll be talking about this brew a little bit later on in the show here during brew review time. And hey, that's what we call in this biz a tease, kiddies. There you go. All right. So the Running Man. So director Edgar Wright is a director who was known for having a certain style to his movies, and I kind of touched on that a little earlier. I mean, just to refresh your memory, his movies were quirky. irreverent, flashy, clever, excitingly edited and paced with, great music choices and character development, kind of like James Gunn, completely blank there for a second. Like James Gunn kind of does like the good needle drops and does good character development. At least, I don't know, he's kind of fallen off that a little bit here recently. But my favorite Edgar Wright film is Baby Driver, okay? And that had everything that I just listed off here that are characteristics of your typical Edgar Wright film. Plus, I like the fact that it was kind of unique in that it queued up the characters' movements to music, right? I thought that was kind of a cool novelty or part of that movie there. So, and I don't know how to put this gently, so I'll just say it. Edgar Wright ran all of those typical characteristics of his films that I just mentioned right out of town, all right? His The Running Man is his most conventional, cookie-cutter, linear, yawn-inducing movie of his career. I don't know how. I mean, the story of The Running Man gives him all the tools he needs to construct a biting, satirical, compelling, magnetic movie, and he crapped the bed. It's like someone giving Guy Fieri a table of all the best food ingredients and a big-ass kitchen to cook it all in, and his output from all of that ends up being a bowl of grape nuts. Like, what? He's kind of been on a slump, he being Edgar Wright. He's been kind of on a slump with his last two movies. He did Last Night in Soho, which I wasn't crazy about. Okay, I thought it was just kind of meh. And then now this complete crapping of the bed with The Running Man here. With the movie that put him on the map, Shaun of the Dead, and that came out, what, like 2002, 2003, something like that. You could tell, man, he was hungry to give us something new, which was to make a zombie apocalypse, rip roaring and laugh-filled fun, right? Okay, like, hey, everyone else was making zombie apocalypse looked like this deadly, inconvenient, traumatic experience. Like, hey, what? Hey, let's turn that frown upside down during a zombie apocalypse. Let's have some fun with it. All right, let's have some laughs. Let's have some giggles. All right, over there. I mean, during this zombie apocalypse there, right? And then now he makes this big corporate, big studio instruction manual movie, complete with plenty of product placement and stale dialogue. And Glen Powell and Josh Brolin and Colman Domingo, I mean, they do what they can to salvage something out of this, but in the end, though, it's just still that bowl of grape nuts there, unfortunately, for me, you, and anybody else that's watching that movie right there. So it's a tragedy. It's a damn shame what happened with this movie. It's just not right. And so right now here, let me do this here because it just popped into my head that I haven't let you guys know about the like button that's on this episode. And so the like button is down below right there. So right down below where you're watching my big melon and my mouth flap, okay? There's the like button down there. So if you would be so kind, if you feel like it, hit that like button. And then also, I'm also talking about some other buttons down there, okay? And another one is the subscribe or follow button. And so if you click on that, it does exactly like what it sounds like. You'll be subscribing or following to this channel here, okay? And then also there's the notification bell down there. And when you click on that, it does exactly like what it implies it's going to do. It just notifies you whenever there's a sizzling, delicious, piping hot new episode of Movies Merica coming out of the oven there, okay? And don't worry, it's not going to spam you, okay? It's not going to send a singing telegram to your door and, carrier pigeon and, FedEx is going to show up to remind. No, it's going to just give you like one email just to remind you, okay? So I know I hate that too. Like you sign up for something and next thing you know, you're getting junk mail, and you're getting spammed all over the place. I'm like, why did I give that entity? Why did I give that company my email address? What the hell? They even said they weren't going to share my information, but not with this notification bell here. So because I've tested it myself, I've clicked the notification bell for other shows. Yeah, all I get is like just one email, and that's it. Just remind you. So it's not going to inundate you. Okay, you are not going to get completely attacked. And then this is directed to anybody who's viewing this, like the recording of it, right? You're not watching this thing live. And we can still communicate back and forth with each other. That's totally cool. We can't do it via the live chat for obvious reasons because you're not watching it live, and I get it. We all got stuff to do, right? Maybe you're behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler. You're hauling some goods or whatever, or you're making meatloaf, right? And your hands are just right in the middle of some meatloaf, and you're just making meatloaf. You can't watch a show. You can't live chat or something. You got other stuff to do. That's totally cool. I totally understand. So, but we can still communicate back and forth with each other, but we're just going to have to do it via that old comment section down below. Okay. And I'd love to hear from you. Okay. So, let me know, hey, what do you think of The Running Man? Have you seen it? Hey, have you seen the original The Running Man back in '88? What did you think of that? Or if you just want to say hi, okay, you most certainly can do that there. Or, if you have a movie that you want me to review and you want to suggest that to me, totally cool. All right. Just make sure it's a movie that, more than you and maybe two other people are going to want to see a movie review for. Okay. Don't ask me to, Don't ask me to review Naval Lint, the motion picture, okay? Because that ain't happening. That is not happening right there, okay? But ultimately, hey, you can comment all about what you want to down there. The power is in your hands there. But just wanted to put that bug in your ear to let you guys know that, hey, if you're watching the recording of this, you can still communicate, with me back and forth and get that all going there. So, all right, let me do this here real quick. And let's do this here. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. You guys are probably thinking, like, what are you doing? Your taxes right now while you're trying to do the show? What the hell, man? Come on. I'm here to talk about The Running Man. You're over here like doing your taxes and stuff. Come on. No. No, I am not doing that here. Let me get this going on right here because I am because we're going to talk about The Running Man here again in Two Shakes of a Lamb's Tail there. And man, that saying made me sound so old right there. So I'm going to cease from saying that anymore during this episode. I give you my guarantee on that. Okay, so all right. So again, about The Running Man, I was excited that this version, the 2025 version of The Running Man, was featuring the game taking place nationwide, okay, instead of the limited, cordoned off gameplay zone that they used in Schwarzenegger's version, all right? I mean, there could be action scenes in this one in all sorts of cities because it's nationwide, right? You could have locales across the nation. So that might bring us like a big old chase in the Grand Canyon, a big gun battle in the streets of Manhattan, something like that. There's a big car chase in Seattle or something like that, right? And maybe they just didn't have the budget to pull that off, even though this is the biggest budget Edgar Wright has ever had. There are a couple of imaginative action sequences, though, so I will give it. I'm not gonna totally crap all over this movie right here. Okay, I got a couple of positive things to say, and one of those is that there are a couple of imaginative action sequences, like when Michael Cera's character decides to go all Kevin McAllister in Home Alone on some baddies here, or a battle royale on a plane towards the end. Okay, other than that, it's sleepy time adventure hour there, friends. Okay. And Edgar Wright and his co-writer on this, Michael McCall, they also, what they do in here is in amongst like all the action and the larger than life performances, they do mix in some social commentary about like big evil media corporations controlling the poor, huddled masses, yearning to be free, with perverse TV shows and manipulating video to make people say things that they really didn't say, right? I mean, I don't know. Blows your mind. How would that ever happen, right? That is sort of interesting in this day of AI and instances of big media entities. I think, what was that one story I just heard? Oh, like the BBC. The BBC manipulating video to make Trump say something he didn't. They try to make him look worse than he did because they're like chopping up video and that kind of thing. So there are some parallels to the real world in The Running Man here. And that's just one example, like I was talking about with the BBC. Now, me personally, I'm all for this movie shining a light on media malfeasance like this, since, like I just implied, I know that we see this stuff today, such as when like media purposely concentrates on stories. So like, pit American versus American, like pitting me versus you, right? And the media likes to do that. Kind of like, for instance, they're always like putting stories out there. Like they'll never put a story about like, they'll have like a white guy killing a white guy. It's always like a white guy killing a black guy, right? And they're trying to like use that to divide black versus white, right? It's sick. It's wrong. We should all get along, right? I mean, call me a big old hippie. I want everyone to live, together in peace and harmony and all that stuff. But anyway, that's a whole nother episode for a whole nother type of show right there. But The Running Man does serve as a reminder that this does happen, this kind of divisive, very targeted media coverage, right? And it is one of the positives of this movie that could have been a big launch to Glen Powell's movie star career here. Okay, so that's what I thought that this might be, is that this might be finally that big launching point to Glen Powell's career that we've been hearing about coming, down the pike, so to speak, right there. But all right, let's do this here real quick. I want to double check some information here because I run a tight ship over here, everybody. Absolutely. All right, this is Movies Merica Incorporated right here, and we don't dilly-dally around here. Oh, there's another old man saying. Don't want to do that. All right, but right now, like I implied before and I teased it before, and because I'm getting thirsty, it's time for a brew review time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the brew for today right here. And so we got a tall boy on hand here, all right? And this is some La Cumbre, if I'm saying that. I know I'm an ugly American. I'm white boy Roy from Iowa, so I don't know if I'm saying that La Cumbre correctly, but La Cumbre, that's what I'm going with. I'm going with that pronunciation. Is that right? Anyway, so yes, La Cumbre Brewing Company, and this is their elevated IPA there. Let me get that right there as I put my arm in front of my face. All right. Elevated IPA. And this comes to us from New Mexico there. And this is an American style IPA. So, it's one of those bitter beers. Okay. And some people don't like the bitter beer. But it's in addition to the bitterness, the high bitterness, it's got like a complex flavor profile to it and a lot of hops. Okay. So obviously that's what creates the bitterness, right? You got the hops in the beer, and it's got a little bit of citrus fruits in it. At least that's how they market it. They talk about it's got these citrus notes in it, and I do taste a little bit of that. I'm not tasting near as much of it as they claim that you're going to taste in this brew right here. But and then it's got like citrus notes like in the nose too. So if I stick my big schnoz over here, yeah, you get you get some citrus notes in there. It almost smells like it's got like some molasses notes in there as well, which is interesting for an IPA here. And then, the most important, part of this, hey, how does this taste over here? And I'd say it's got like obviously, like I talked about, it's got a bitter flavor to it here, but in not a subtle way, in kind of like a good mix and gelling of flavors kind of way right there. Like it's like a harmonious bitter flavor because it mixes well, and it's kind of congealing with the rest of the flavors there in a way where it mixes just right. So where, you're not drinking this and you're like, making that pucker face, right? So who wants that, right? Who wants that when you're drinking their beers? And also, I like to talk about the food pairings that go with this particular type of beer, or with the beers that I review in every brew review time. And in the case of this particular brew right here, the old elevated IPA, it sounds like with like most IPAs, I would say it probably goes pretty good with like spicy foods like, Thai and Indian food, any kind of grilled or barbecue meat. that those foods would pair very well with this elevated IPA right there. Okay, so but all right, enough about me yapping about it. Enough of me yapping about this beer here. I'm gonna get a little drink off this. So here we go. All right, excellent. And so it also does have an alcohol by volume of 7.2 and an IBU rating that stands for International Bitterness Units there for all you civilians. That's got an IBU rating of 100 because it is an IPA. It's going to be a higher on the IBU scale there. And so, yeah, you might be able to get your hands on it, particularly like if you live in New Mexico. Yeah, it's probably going to be a lot easier to get your hands on it there. But you never know. You can open up an app like Open Bar on your phone, and maybe you can get it that way. Now, if you live in like I don't know, like Bangor, Maine, something like that, or Walla Walla, Washington, all right, you get the beer via like an app like Open Bar or something like that. You're probably gonna have to pay a pretty penny on it, as opposed to say yes if you live in Alamogordo, New Mexico, or something like that. But you know what? If you want to get your hands on it bad enough, hey, I think in the end you will be able to find your way to this beer here. I honestly can't say it's worth spending that kind of money for it, but it's pretty good there. If you happen to be in Albuquerque one day and you want yourself some elevated IPA, by all means get it. But yeah, I wouldn't break the bank trying to get some through the mail, okay, or anything like that. So, but anyway, enough of me rambling about that. Let's wrap up this brew review time. All right, let's do this here real quick. I want to bless you with a little offer that I have here, and let's bring that up right there. There we go, and take care of a little business here and get that going on. All right. Okay, so right here, just wanted to take a minute here to remind you that, we do have Movies Merica merch available to you. And, I got to say, what I've been finding recently is when I wear my Movies Merica merch here, like I got this Movies Merica hat here. Full disclosure, it does not have purple on it. For some reason, they can't put the purple on there. But like whenever, when I've worn the Movies Merica hat or like a Movies Merica t-shirt, it's quite the conversation starter because Movies Merica, it's kind of got that alliteration thing to it. It's kind of fun to say, and that's why I chose the name, and that's one of the reasons I chose the name. Actually, no, that is the reason. That's the one sole reason I chose the name right there. But people ask like Movies Merica, what is that? And so it does get the conversations going there at least 2-3 times since I've worn it right there, and then also. But, also it makes a great gift as well. And as you see, we got shirts, we got drinkware, we've got, curious. I don't know what that has to do with it. Anyway, we got like various home, items that you can buy. That has the Movies Merica logo emblazoned on it, like this desk mat. You got different size desk mats right here. Again, you got coffee cups, drinkware of all kinds of sorts there, koozies. You got the t-shirt. I like this Black Adam style Movies Merica logo the best personally, but you might like something different right there. But so you've got the Movies Merica merch available to you if you want to buy some sweet Movies Merica merch for yourself, or you can give it as a gift to grandma or something like that. That is totally cool. There we go. So I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to put the link in the chat here on Rumble. And let's do this here. That does not work. Oh, there we go. Apparently I have to know where to actually do that and click there. Okay. Apparently it's my first time pinning messages and all that stuff. But yeah, let me do this here for YouTube as well. I don't want to leave YouTube out. You're going to hear the show here for just a brief second. There we go. See, told you. All right, so don't say I didn't warn you. All right, there we go. So I've got the web address, web address. Let me try to get a web address for the website that you're looking at. I've got that in the chat on YouTube and Rumble, and you can use that to grab yourself some Movies Merica merch if you want to check that out. So, all right, let's move on here from that. I got a Hawk Products, right? I got to try to move some merch. But you get something out of it too. I mean, it's cool. Just grab yourself that Movies Merica pint glass, and I found that for some reason beverages just taste better in that Movies Merica pint glass. I don't know. It's science. Okay, there you go. As a Ron Burgundy would say there, okay, it's science. And all right, let's do this here, everybody. And let's just move on real quick, shall we? All right. And I've got some random thoughts about The Running Man. And the first random thought I have is in 2013, there was this movie called Gravity, starring Sandra Bullock and George Clooney that came out, right? And the movie was a phenomenon when it came out. And part of what made it that was the pulse-pounding, nerve-wracking musical score from composer Stephen Price. It was so good, he actually won the Oscar for Best Score. So I'd say that gives it some credibility, right? Now, Stephen Price just so happens to be the composer for The Running Man, and I don't know what happened, but he produces as a bland as Brussels sprouts action movie score that really you could probably just get free off of YouTube audio, okay? I don't know what happened, but what a fall from grace right there for Stephen Price. I mean, the soundtrack to The Running Man, it's just this, I mean, we've heard it a bunch of times before. It's just this bland, off the assembly line, nothing special about it, nothing amazing, nothing that's going to, get you like, pumping your fist like, yeah, this is badass. Man, this action is so cool. This music really adds to it. Like nothing like that. And it's just so sad because they got themselves a great composer for their movie, Stephen Price. Like I said, he's an Oscar winner, for God's sakes, right? And then my second random thought is this movie couldn't even win the box office in its first weekend, all right? Embarrassingly, it got beat by Now You See Me, Now You Don't, okay? Or what some people are referring to as Now You See Me 3, okay? Which I would have guessed no one was looking forward to, right? Like Glen Powell is supposed to be like the next Tom Cruise, and he gets beat by a movie starring a bunch of character actors like Jesse Eisenberg and Isla Fisher and Dave Franco and Woody Harrelson. I mean, and also if you look at the demo audience for The Running Man, like the kind of the breakdown as far as the demographics of who went and saw The Running Man, it didn't even bring in the ladies in droves. And I keep hearing ladies find Glen Powell to be dreamy. All right. Might be concerned for Powell and his agent. Okay. They might want to like get together and regroup and see just what the hell is going on with his career and all that. So, and like Glen Powell, he does what he can in this movie. I will stick up for Glen Powell a little bit. He does what he can to salvage what he can out of this train wreck of a movie here, okay? And also, he's made some good movies since he was in Top Gun Maverick as Hangman. Obviously, Twisters, last year or the year before, was pretty good. I would highly encourage you to check out his movie called Hitman on Netflix. And that's just a damn shame. That's a tragedy that Netflix would not put Hitman in theaters, at least for a little bit, like they just did with Frankenstein, right? Frankenstein, they put Frankenstein in theaters for the minimum amount of time that it has to be in theaters to make it Oscar worthy or Oscar eligible, right? And so they could have put Hitman with Glen Powell in the theaters. I think it would have done decent business there if they would have marketed it correctly, marketed it appropriately. But all that to say is Glen Powell, I think he's doing what he can. And he's a likable actor. I dig him. He's a likable actor, like I said, right there. So, but anyway. All right, let's do this here. We are going to move on here because that was my random thoughts there for that show or for The Running Man. So, yeah, let's press on, shall we? All right, let me just take a minute here to remind you that, hey, this Sunday show that you're watching right now, this is not the only show that I do, okay? So I do a Thursday night show, and the Thursday night show is the show that there may be spoilers, okay? So that's kind of the operation that I'm running here, okay? So the Sunday show is where I do the spoiler-free review of typically the latest movie, right? Sometimes I do retro reviews of movies from the 80s and 90s or whatever. 9 out of 10 times, it's like, one of the latest movies to come out, right? So Sunday, just think Sunday, spoiler-free. And on Thursday night, I talk about the exact same movie, but I don't worry if I drop spoilers or anything like that on that. And so that's my Movies Merica spoiler warning show is the name of that show right there, as I get all choked up about it, apparently. Movies Merica spoiler warning is the name of that show. That's on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, and 4 Pacific, okay? And you can watch that show just like how you're watching this show right here. Just go and search for Movies Merica and then the name of the movie that I'm talking about, in this case, The Running Man, okay? Or you can go to my X profile, which is at Movies Merica, Facebook. You can go to my Van Ebert account or my Facebook or my Movies Merica account on Facebook. Rumble, you can look up Movies Merica and the name of there's a number. The point is, there's a number of different ways that you can watch the show here, this Sunday show and the Thursday show there as well. So, and then, hey, feel free to send a link to any friends that you even remotely suspect are into movies there, because this also goes for like older movies. Okay, my past episodes. Okay, like I've explained this a bunch of people. If you're like going through your Netflix, recommended movies to watch, or your Hulu recommended movies list to watch, whatever. Okay, and you're like, that movie right there, it looks very, very tempting right there. But man, I don't want to be like that guy or gal 2.5 hours from now going, God, I just wasted that 2.5 hours and I will never get that 2.5 hours back. Never. If only there was a resource that I could have gone to ahead of time to let me know that this movie was a pile of crap, or, it was going to be life-changingly good, right? And hey, you know what? I got newsflash, everybody. Okay, newsflash. You do have a place where you can go for that, and that is Movies Merica. Okay, and so if you want to get a quick review of a movie here, a quick spoiler-free review, then yeah, just go to Rumble or YouTube and just type in Movies Merica and then the name of the movie. And now on YouTube, you might have to do a little bit of scrolling, okay? But it's worth it, right? Rumble, it's going to come up a little faster, okay? Movies Merica and then the name of the movie that you're looking for, and then yeah, check that out, and you may save 2.5 hours of your life, okay? The time that you save may be your own. So there you go, right? Because yeah, I mean, I hate it too. I hate it when I fire up a movie, and yeah, right afterwards, you're like, all right, now I have to kick my own ass for watching this movie because I'm the one who clicked the old play button right there. I got nobody else to blame, but all right, there you go. All right, let's move on here real quick, shall we? So this is a part of the show, the Sunday show here, where I let you know if this particular movie is a woke after-school special, okay? Because, nobody likes to go to the movies, and you go there to be entertained, have a good time, or maybe to get educated or something like that, and you're in the movie, and it turns out, oh, my God, this is just a woke lecture on how to live the most woke life, and, you're a terrible person, and this is what you. And I don't want that, right? If I want that, I know where to go for that. I'm watching a movie to be entertained, and that kind of thing. So I don't want to, especially if you go to the movies, if you go to theater, and you spend like what $18 a person, if you're going on at nights, and it turns out, yeah, you spent $18, and then for your whole family, you spent like $200 to go to the movies for the movie and all the snacks, all that stuff, just to find out it's just a woke sermon. So I want to save you from that because I don't want to watch that stuff. And so I'm pretty sure you don't want to watch it either. And so in the case of The Running Man, is it a woke after school special? And I got to say, sort of. There's a kind of a silly, cartoonish, fight the power, eat the rich, revolution running theme throughout the movie, which is part of dividing people who have and people who have not against each other, right? Okay. And my definition of woke is anything that is meant to further the divide between people towards an end game of dividing and destroying America. And that fits this definition. And obviously with that, I'm laser focusing on America. That has nothing to do with Madagascar or Belgium or India or something like that, right? That's like an America thing, alone, right? So, and it also has a line in the movie that lectures about regulations. And then also it has a scene that shows the typical Hollywood depiction of white people who are patriotic about their country. You know what I'm talking about? Like a lot of, movies, they always depict people like that as a bunch of inbred, pickup truck driving, gun toting, sister marrying dum-dums, right? So it's got that right there. You're like, the movies never portray, and this is terrible, but never portray white people, who are patriotic about America. It's kind of just regular people just sitting in their backyard, having a barbecue, getting along and everything. They never portray them that. They're always like, "Hey, I'm Bubba," and we don't cotton your kind around here. We love America. Like it's always that, right? And so they do have a scene like that in here. And so in the end, it's just social messaging packaged up in movie form, and it just adds some grossness to what should have been a great movie. Should have been a great movie there. So love it. All right, let me double check here and check the live chat. And hey, we got my man Sean Cav up here in the live chat, and he's saying, "Hey, Van," and hey, right back at you there, Sean, my brother. Good to see you. And Mr. Scott, awesome. All right, keyword awesome. He says, "Howdy, fellow feds." There we go. Yes, you've stumbled into the Patriot Front there, Mr. Scott, awesome, right there. And Sean Cav says, "The original Running Man was fun. I had my doubts on this remake too." Yes, I know, exactly. And and Sean, I wish that the doubts that you and I had turned out to be a nothing burger and it was a great movie. But sadly, turns out our doubts were well founded there. And yeah, the original Running Man, just don't take it too seriously. It's this goofball, fun movie there. It's got characters like Sub-Zero in it, right? And Schwarzenegger, he's like doing his little typical 80s Schwarzenegger quips, like, "No, Sub-Zero is no zero," or something like that. I can't remember what the line was there. It's got Richard Dawson, if you're old, Richard Dawson from Family Feud, right? And he's just smarming it up throughout the movie and being deliciously sleazy and that kind of thing. So, but good to see you, gentlemen, joining me here in the live chat there. And yeah, it's like, and if you guys are into Edgar Wright, I don't know if you guys know who Edgar Wright is, but Edgar Wright, he directed like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. If you guys have a favorite Edgar Wright movie, hey, feel free to throw that in the live chat there as well. But anyways, that wraps up whether or not this movie is a woke after school special there. All right, what next do we have on the docket here at Movies Merica Court there? So, I know what it is. Okay, here we go. So yes, I want to just kind of remind you again, I'm definitely reminding you right now that, yes, if you are appreciating what you're hearing, what you're seeing here enough to throw a buck or two my way, all right, or to gift a sub to somebody here, you can most certainly do that, okay? Again, like I said, if you donate, a dollar amount there, the more you donate there, to me, the bigger the piece on the Movies Merica wheel you get for a big prize drawing at the end of the month right there, okay? So, and so, yes, how you do that on the Rumble side here, just to remind everybody, is on the Rumble side when you're in the live chat box there, down by where you type in your live chat message, just click on the $ button. A button will just magically pop up right in front of your face, and then you just put in there how much you want to donate, and that's it. That's it. That's all it is. It's not going to ask you for your social security number. It's not going to ask you for the date of birth of your firstborn child. Nothing like that. Very simple, very easy right there. Okay, so and then on the YouTube side, it works very similarly. Okay, so you go to the live chat window on YouTube, and down by where you type in your live chat message, just click on the button that has a dollar bill on it. That'll pop up another window asking you how much you want to donate there. And that's it. Okay, there you go. So you want to throw a buck or two or $5 or $100, whatever. Okay, there you go. Maybe you just robbed a train. You've got some good loot, on your hands. You're like, feeling particularly generous there. Van's looking sad and pathetic, and I want to make his day a little brighter, so I'm going to throw some money at him. So there you go. All right. And, look at that. Oh, there we go. We got Sean Cav here breaking out the $5 Rumble rant over here, and they know what time it is. They know what time it is, and so they want to earn a place on the wheel there. And you know what? We will oblige them. Yes, we will right there. You are going to get on the wheel, and let's get you all up in here. There you go. And they got Channel 2 Action News getting in on the action as well. Channel 2 Action News, welcome to the live chat right there. And I don't know, Channel 2 Action News, if you got any breaking news that we need to know about today right there. But for me, the biggest breaking news is your $5 Rumble rant, just like Sean threw in there. And you know what? That's 2 drinks right there for those Rumble rants. Here we go. Rules are rules. All right. That's 1. And 2. All right. If somebody gives me a third Rumble rant, I'm out of luck because I can only count to 2. That's it right there. So, all right. But thanks, gentlemen, right there. Mr. Scott Austin was Killian. Oh, yeah, here you go. Killian, here's your Sub-Zero. Now plain zero. And his declaration, I'm not into politics. I'm into survival. There we go. I know. Best Schwarzenegger impression you've ever heard. I know. I realize that. There you go. You don't have to tell me twice. Absolutely. So let's get you guys here. So yes, Sean and Channel 2 Action News, you guys are going to be replacing the exotic dancers that have been taking up real estate here on the wheel. So sorry, Destiny, you're just going to have to stay there on the main stage because Mr. Sean Cab is taking your place right there. Let's hook him up with 5. There you go. And sorry, Electra. Bye-bye. There we go. Channel 2 Action News. You get up in here with a 5 spot yourself. Excellente. And, oh, yeah, we got Mr. Scott Awesome. Yeah, exactly. Those, he said that territoriality is apparently hitting old Mr. Scott Awesome because he says they're stealing my piece of the pie. So, Mr. Scott Awesome, we're going to throw another $1 your way right there. Absolutely. So there you go. So, all right. I don't know how long Peaches and Chastity are going to last on the wheel right here. We got a little bit of a November here, but we're gonna be spinning this wheel in the end of November, towards the end of November, for some great prizes. There you go. Exactly, Sean Gabb. Got to be in it to win it. There you go. And sometimes if you win it, you get to be in it, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic right there. There you go. All right. And Channel 2 Extras, I want to be next to Sean on the wheel. So I want to be black too. There you go. Yeah, you sound like Mr. Pink on Reservoir Dogs. Like, hey, why can't I be like Mr. Black or something like that? You know, come on. I want a better name than that. And yes, this is the movie wheel up in here. Absolutely. So, and we're just going to hide that for right there. But just wanted to get that up there and encourage the capitalism that we're seeing here through the live chat there. So, but my final thoughts on The Running Man is quite simply, don't waste your time and money going to see this at the theater. Okay. I mean, since it couldn't even win the box office on its premiere weekend here, it lost to Now You See Me, Now You Don't with Jesse frickin' Eisenberg. Okay. I predict The Running Man will be running its ass to streaming in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's on Hulu now. It's on Hulu. All right, it's on Netflix. It's on something. All right, it's on streaming right now. Okay, there. So just wait for it to come out on streaming and check that out. And me personally, I wouldn't even check it out. Then I would probably just wait till it comes out on Cinemax. Still no, it's HBO Max. Or you're just laying on your couch, 3:00 in the morning, got a bad hangover, you've been drinking too much, and you're flipping through channels, and HBO Max comes up, and The Running Man with Glen Powell comes on, and then maybe I would watch it then. Okay, maybe I could rationalize watch this movie then. While you're scratching your nuts, 3:00 in the morning, and you're like, nothing else is on. then watch it, because then you're not really spending any money to watch it except for your subscription, right? So, but anyway, so yeah, so as you can tell, I think very highly of The Running Man. So anyway, but those are my final thoughts. And so that's what I'm talking about. I'm saving you money and time, and instead go watch better movies. Okay, there you go. And if you want to know what better movies there are out there, just check out my Movies Merica live episodes there, and you'll see that there are better movies to watch. Like on streaming, like F1. F1's a great movie to check out. Weapons is pretty damn good there. And I'm sure there's other ones that you'll discover if you watch past episodes of Movies Merica Live right there. So, but all right. Well, I just want to, just thank, the gentlemen in the live chat. They're the ones who go above and beyond, because it's one thing to watch the episode, all right, but it takes balls of solid rock to combine watching and live chatting at the same time. And sorry, guys, I don't mean to talk about your balls. But so I want to thank them for doing that there. And then to anybody who's watching the recording of it later on here, I appreciate you guys watching all the same. And you guys can communicate with me via the comments section down below. Okay, so there we go. And hey, follow me on the platforms that I'm on. And I'm on like X, and I'm on Gab and Rumble, and I'm not on MySpace anymore. And Friendster, I think I killed my accounts on there. Facebook, I can't remember if I said that already, but anyway, so I'm on a number of platforms. It's a very complicated process of just searching Movies Merica or at Movies Merica. And then, if you would follow me on those platforms, and you know what, if you do that, you're not going home empty-handed, all right? Just let me know that you followed me, and I will follow you back right there. And you can let me know that you follow me via just going to my X account at Movies Merica and just DMing me in there and let me know that you followed me. And then I will follow you back right there, because you know what? You scratch my back, I'm going to scratch your. That didn't make any sense. Anyway, so there you go. All right. Let's move on there while I still have a little bit of dignity here. There we go. But and check out, as far as some guys here in the live chat, Sean Cav, he's got great content on Rumble. Go check out his stuff right there. Just, again, a very complicated process of searching for Sean Cav there. And Mr. Scott Awesome, do you got stuff out there at Channel 2 Action News? You guys got stuff out on Rumble there? Because it's not because your stuff, if you have it out there, is not memorable. It's because my brain doesn't work. So there we go. So if you want to find out yourself if they've got stuff on Rumble, again, just search Channel 2 Action News on Rumble and Mr. Scott Awesome on Rumble there, and you'll see if they're putting out product there on Rumble, just like this guy is right here. Okay, but with that, we're going to wrap up this Movies Merica Live episode, The Running Man episode of Movies Merica Live. But so this Thursday, Movies Merica spoiler warning is on Thursday night. And we'll talk about The Running Man again, but with spoilers. Okay, there we go. But hey, and Mr. Scott also says he doesn't create content yet. There we go. But there might be a someday right there. But all right, Channel 2 Action News says, "Live you, Van. Dude, I live you as well." There we go. Just got one big happy family. A bunch of peace and harmony going on here in Movies Merica Live world right there. But like I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Howdy, my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Would you do me a favor and check me out at solo.to/moviesmerica? That's where you would go for a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with me, Movies Merica. And then also, if you want to check out the audio-only podcast versions of my Movies Merica Live episodes, that's my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday, you can go to moviesmerica.com or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, places like that. And then, actually, if you would also check me out on the social media sites like X and Instagram and Facebook and Gab. And I'm on those locations all under at Movies Merica. So it is very easy to find me out there, all right? So get to it, everybody. All right, thanks for watching. Later. Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got the Popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'll be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right. Thanks for watching.